It shows how small differences in certain situations can have a powerful long-term effects on the outcome. It is analogous to the butterfly effect wherein one flap of a wings could cause a tornado somewhere. This archetype shows that small changes in the beginning of a process could end up determining the outcome.
Access to the successful archetype can be applied to a lot of situations, but in this case, we will be applying it in a personal perspective. As we can see in the diagram, a personal example wherein the success to the successful archetype is applicable is in the balancing of time devoted to studying and time devoted to hanging out with friends. For example, the more time I devote to studying, the more I become successful. It also has the same results if I devote my time to hanging out with my friends. However, when there is an upcoming final examination that forces me to study for a long time instead of hanging out with my friends, and when I hang out with my friends, they always complain and speak behind my back about why I am not joining any of their hangouts. As there are other upcoming final examinations that pile up, the more I devote time to studying, the higher the scores that I get from the exam, and less time with my friends. And because of this, the tension between my friends and I have increased, therefore driving me further away from them. As we can see in the diagram, the success is leaning towards the success in study because of the allocation of resources. In our case, which is time, the more time I devote to studying, the less time I have for my friends.
In the year 2000, Blockbuster had the chance to buy Netflix for $50 million. Netflix executives flew down to Texas and made the offer to Blockbuster's CEO. The CEO rejected their offer, even reportedly laughing them out of the office, and continued on with what they perceived as their tried and true business model. Today, Netflix is worth $231 billion, and Blockbuster is now bankrupt. One seemingly insignificant decision at the time drastically affected the outcome. If they had went the other way, Blockbuster could have stayed relevant today. Back then, the company found success in their business model. They saw success in the successful and chose to keep pooling resources into it, ignoring innovation and other options in the process. They fell into a competency trap, choosing to remain doing what they were good at, while other innovative companies snatched the rest of the market and made them obsolete. However successful they were, other options or business models could have had the same or even more potential.
For the political example, one good example for this is when the government officials lobby for an increase in tax in order to grow the economic and bargaining power, to continue funding the government and support the economic activities at the expense of the lower sector workers or the citizens. The tax system has been tipped totally in favor of the wealthy citizens as they are more able to pay taxes than those who are in the lower sector. Not only do these unequal distributions of taxes disproportionately burden the poor and benefit the rich, but they also yield in a little revenue given the distortions they create. This archetype, which is success to the successful, can divide a population between winners and losers, wealthy and poor, good and bad. We find this archetype play out whenever there are multiple populations or activities competing for the same stock of limited resources.